if you needed a cup of coffee, today's the day to have it, because I have a great morning, actually afternoon or dinner dessert for you to go with it. So you know this is my favorite thing. So to have a little piece of snack to go with it is just phenomenal. So I'm going to show you how to make a delicious apple strudel today. It only takes 4 apples, a little bit of butter, sugar, and apple pie spice. So just 4 things that you probably already have in your pantry. So I've gone ahead, I'm already going to do the butter for you guys. So in here I went ahead and I melted 4 tablespoons of butter, because I wanted to get that going. And I'm going to be working with Honeycrisp apples. I like them, or I like Gala the best for pies and stuff. I just feel like they have a little bit of tart, a little bit of sweet, nice balance, but they hold up really good in a pie or an apple crisp or anything like that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to peel our apples, and I've kind of been toying with, I've made this recipe so many times in the past couple days just to get it perfect. That I've eaten. I brought it to work and I made an extra one. I like to go usually around when I peel my apples, but because Pepe is crazy about the apple peels, it's easier for him to eat them when they're like this. So see, nothing gets wasted here because Pepe can eat up all my scraps. All right, so we're going to go ahead and I'm peeling these for him and peeling these for the dessert.
Joan says, "Hey, girl."
Oh, Joan, nice to hear from you. I know you're getting settled into your new home, so I'm happy for you.
Mary says, "Morning sunshine."
Mary from California. It's very sunny here today, Mary, and actually we have like a little crisp weather, so I'm really in the mood to make. I'm really in the mood to make some fall food. All right, so Josh is playing with my phone, but we're gonna get this right today, babe, right? You're doing a wonderful job, sweetie. Okay, so in the pan, I have my butter going, and it's already melted. It's 4 tablespoons of butter, and I'm just gonna save all of these scraps for Pepe, put those away. Okay. And we're going to cut, and it'd be 4 apples, but I'm just going to show you 2 right now because I actually went and have some already cut up and done, because this takes 20 minutes to cook. So I don't want to sit here for 20 minutes and make you watch me stir apples around. I want to get to the good stuff. I want to get to the finished product.
My arm's going numb.
Okay, so I want to cut these apple slices pretty thin because this way they'll cook a little bit faster. And the reason why I'm cooking them before we put them in here is because the apples take longer to cook than the puff pastry. You will have raw apples inside or crunchy apples. And I hate when I get an apple pie from something or like an apple crisp and the apples are still
El dente.
Chewy. Yeah, you could call them el dente. Sure. I don't like that. I like my apples soft. Okay, so we're just cutting them into real nice thin strips here. And then we're going to add them to our pan that has the melted butter. Now remember, you would be doing 4. I'm doing 2 because I already have some done, so I don't want to do another whole recipe. I think this is what, my 3rd apple strudel.
This will be, yeah.
Okay. Yep. Perfect. Okay, so I'm putting them in the melted butter, just like that. And the Honeycrisp are really, really nice flavor. Like I said, I love a nice balance. All right, we're just going to stir these around. And to this, okay, we're going to add apple pie spice. Now, you don't have to put it on there, babe. Just hold it. Apple pie spice. Now, apple pie spice is made up of 3 different things. It's a combination of nutmeg and allspice and cinnamon. So if you didn't have apple pie spice, you could use cinnamon by itself, of course, or you could use cinnamon and a little nutmeg. Be careful with the allspice because that's a very overpowering spice, and you'll taste more of that than anything else. So I just went ahead and added the spice in. And we're just gonna get that all on every apple slice. Okay, my Peppy's being such a good boy. You should show them. He's just laying here. Look at this guy. He's amazing, huh? Say hi, Pep. He is at Mommy's feet, right?
No, you're a squatter. That's what you are.
He's at Mommy's feet all day long, no matter where. He likes to be outside in this cooler weather, though. And when I say cool in South Carolina, it's in the 60s. It's been in the 40s at night, which is so perfect. The weather, I love it.
30
in Walterboro. In Walterboro. That's not here where we are. So it's been wonderful. It gets in the 70s and it's sunny, so it's like you wake up with a sweatshirt on, and then in the afternoon you have to put a t-shirt on. But you know, that's how it is here. Okay, so I've got the butter, the apples, the spice, and now we're going to add to it 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I just have light brown sugar. If you have dark brown sugar, that's fine. You know, anything you want. I really only need a teaspoon in here because I have half the apples, so it'll be 2 tablespoons. And we're going to mix that around in here as well. And it kind of gives it like a nice, deeper flavor with that brown sugar and the molasses. Just adds like another little depth of sweetness into it. And as you see now, these, as apples cook down, they let off a lot of liquid. They're full of a lot of water. So if you ever had a pie and you know, it gets watery on the bottom, it's like, just put a little cornstarch in it. And so it's called a slurry when you put cornstarch and you add a little bit of water to it. So it's 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and then just 1 tablespoon of water. And then you make this little slurry, and instantaneously you will see it thicken onto the apples. And that's what you want, just this little slurry.
That's not the slurry I know.
Well, that's the slurry in baking.
The slurry in concrete is very slippery.
Oh, well,
When
I
you're
didn't know there.
When you're cutting concrete with water, obviously.
Oh, I didn't
That's
know there
called
was a
slurry.
Oh, well, this is, you know, kind of the same. It's making, is it to use to make things thicker?
No, it's to cut the dust down so no one gets any concrete dust.
Okay, well, this is kind of almost the same, maybe. This is used to thicken up stuff.
So we don't want any apple dust in our lungs?
Right.
We don't want any apple silica?
Okay, so you do see that it already became thicker. If you want to show them this, you could get down here, see how it already made the apples thicker. And this is going to keep cooking down now. You're going to let this cook for 20 minutes. And these apple slices, you'll want to eat it right out of the pan. It's so good. They're nice and tender. And when you bite into them, they still got that little hint of crisp. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shut this off. And I'm going to show you now. Well, actually, I can finish cooking those for a little bit because I can add them to what we
Can
had.
I unplug this?
You cannot because they will not be able to hear me. That's the microphone. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the refrigerator, and I'm going to get out my puff pastry. So I have a puff pastry here, which is you just can get in the freezer section. Pepe looked at me like, food, mama. Puff pastry here in the freezer section of your grocery store. And I did have it out. I mean, you get them and you keep them frozen, but I took it out for a little while on the counter so it could get softer. And we're going to take that off of there for a sec. So now I'm going to show you guys what we're going to do with the puff pastry. We want this to kind of roll out a tiny bit. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put some flour on the board. And we're going to take this and just be very gentle with it because you don't want it to break. And it comes with these 2 papers inside. And I'm leaving everything as it is in the package because I just wanted to show you how simple this is to do. All right, so it comes with a little flour on it already, just to keep it that way. And I'm gonna take my rolling pin, and I'm just gonna roll it out a little bit more, so maybe an inch more on the sides. And we'll kind of get it all done here. Okay, move it over. All right, and that's all you wanna do. You just wanna make sure, you know, loosen it up here. We don't want it sticking to anything. Okay, Now that this is, now if this was the apples we were going to be using, you would just go ahead and put them in here. But I have some already done for you, which are right here. So this is the 4 apples, completely cooked with the butter, the brown sugar, the spices, and the cornstarch. And see how thickened up it is? We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go put it right down the center of this puff pastry. Now you should have your oven on 375 preheating. We're going to kind of pile these up. Put them in here. Did you like this yesterday when I gave you a piece?
Awesome.
You have to like everything I make.
I don't have to, but I have to say I do.
Okay. Easy like this, correct? All right, so now we're gonna bring one side over, and then we're gonna bring the other side over. Okay, and then we're just gonna kind of pinch these together because we don't want anything to come out. None of the juices or anything like that. We're gonna just pinch the 2 pieces together and seal them. And then we're gonna take a fork and do the end. So it kind of looks like a Pop-Tart? Is it a Pop-Tart?
No, apple pie.
Pop-Tarts.
Crust.
A crust, yeah, but also like the Pop-Tarts that kids eat today. And then...
Today? I mean 20 years ago?
Always. Well, they eat them a lot now because that's, you know, they've had like a million different flavors of them. It's incredible. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm gently going to pick this up and I'm going to turn it over. I have a piece of parchment paper on a baking sheet.
Is that why they call it apple turnover? Yes.
That is why.
I think you're
because we turn it over and put it on here. Okay, I'm just going to kind of brush some of this flour off. And I'm going to seal this side just to make sure, again, that the ends are done because I don't want any of the juice coming out. Okay, now we're going to take an egg and we make like a little egg wash. So this is just 1 whole egg. I just put a couple drops of water in to thin it out. And we're going to completely cover this with the egg wash. And we do this because it makes a nice golden color on it instead of just, you'll see like the flour on it if you were to bake it without it. And this just is like painting it pretty before it goes in the oven.
Oh, you're washing it with egg.
Egg washing.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, so she's all pretty. And now we're just going to take a little bit of sugar, ground sugar. You could, if you had like the brown turbinado, you could put that on there. But we're just going to use the table sugar right here and put this on. And the last thing that's super important to remember with this is you have to cut slits in here because it will puff up and
explode.
And then you'll really have a leak all over.
In your oven and everything.
Will be a mess.
Hardcore mess.
Okay, so 4 is good, and this is what it should look like. It's nice and thick like that, so it's got everything, the sugar, and it's all egg wash. It's all sealed up. It goes in the oven 375 for 20 minutes. 375, 20 minutes, and let me show you what it looks like. Josh, you want to come here and show them? But I am actually going to cut it. So this is what it looks like. Look how beautiful this is. But also...
That wasn't 20 minutes.
Yeah, I cooked that for 20 minutes.
You just put it in the oven.
No, that's the magic.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but I wanted to show them. Look at my steam pot, guys. I got this week, and I've been using it every day since I got it. In here today, I have oranges, cinnamon stick, some cloves, and just some water. And it just steams on the stove, and it really makes it feel like fall in here. Yesterday, I had lemons in there and rosemary. And it kind of cleared up my sinuses a little bit, so I was really kind of happy about that. Okay, so here comes the moment of truth. So it's all done, and we're just going to add a little powdered sugar to it, just to add to the sweetness already. If you wanted to add a glaze on this with some powdered sugar and a little milk, you could do that as well. And also, if you wanted to add berries to it, like blueberries to this, you would add them at like this stage right here. Where they're almost done, Because these apples that had, we were cooking are almost finished. So you would add the blueberries. If you put them in too soon, they would break apart and your filling would be all purple. So you don't want that. And if you wanted to add nuts in here, you could add nuts as well. Put them right into the pan and let them cook. It enhances the flavor of them, but Josh can't have nuts. He's very allergic. So
don't tell everyone my kryptonite.
So now I have to go without. I can't have nuts because Josh can't have nuts.
That's right.
Okay, we're gonna cut this, and I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like, and then we're gonna listen to the crunch. You hear that? And there we go. And look how beautiful this is. Oops.
What?
Look at this, guys. Look at all the apple in there, and look at the puff pastry, how puffed up. You got a little bit of hint of sugar up here.
And you got a nice seal on it.
Nothing leaked out. Nothing leaked out at all. So all the goodness is inside.
So what you're trying to say is it's all about the sealing.
Pretty much.
And your powder sugar looked like Tiny wanted me to.
This is
spray the
nice,
cure on
guys.
it.
You can give this as a gift to somebody. You can have it, in your house and have it for breakfast. But amazing, simple dish. And I will put the recipe up after we finish. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day and a great weekend coming ahead. Cheers with our coffee.
Cheers.